Hi, my name is Annika Ryan and I'm back again. Last time we did the skin of the face for that images from whimsystamps.com, and the digital version is also available at kennykdownloads.com. And this time I thought I might give a bit of an idea how I do hair. Well, how I sometimes do hair. And I am going to go in and look for the areas where I will be putting the shadows. Now it's quite clear on this side, so we're just going in, and as I said last time as well, I'm trying to keep the picture in place, so it's a bit awkward, and therefore my hand ain't as steady as it probably usually would be. So I think I'm making a bit of a shadow there, here in that area, and in that area the hair kind of, anywhere it curves like that, you'd like to have the shadow, the highlight somewhere on top. I'm not worrying at the moment about any precision or in general trying to kind of give an impression of hair. I am just giving myself an idea where I might want the shadows. And you can go fairly wide. Just try to follow the direction of the hair somewhat. There's going to be a bit of a darker area here, and definitely near the face or behind the face in this case is always a bit darker. So now I am going in with my darkest color, and I know it's not politically correct, but for hair I think it works. Anywhere else I would say no, don't go in with your darkest color that fast. The color is E59 and it's a really dark but slightly reddish brown, and you don't put in a lot of it. There's a lot of layers involved in hair, so you know, if you don't get it right away, you can just go over and give it a bit more depth and dimension. And as you can see, I'm making it very dark here in the center, but I'm leaving a tiny bit at the very top of her head untouched, so it will be a bit lighter. Not a lot, but don't skimp too much either, because that's just the first application. Yeah, you're going to put on a bit more of it afterwards. Usually I'd be very fast about doing it, because you give a lot of layers and you do them fairly freehand, and you get this kind of a fairly natural but not too detailed look, which I like. I might be the only one who likes it. In this case, you're perfectly free to ignore me. And now next color is E19, and it's called Redwood. I'm going kind of with this chestnutty color a bit. I wouldn't now call it pure chestnut, but that's the direction I'm moving. And I'm kind of inventing it as I go. I want it to be fairly dramatic and fairly messy and tousled looking. So just, you know, don't try to do it. Sometimes you can just let yourself go and get slightly mad. And if you don't like it, you can always fix a bit afterwards. But you know, just have fun, experiment, try different ways of doing the same thing. And you might really enjoy it, and you might come to really cool results. Now can you kind of see where I'm trying to go with that hair? It's kind of a very complex and a lot of detail and kind of a cool flow to that hair, so I'm just trying to play with it a bit and follow the hair itself, see where it's going. That's almost orange. It's called brown and it's EO 8, but in all the fairness I would almost call it orange, because it is almost orange in my world. If you look at it, it's kind of a dark orange. Don't get me wrong, I like that color. I like the warmth of it. But I still call it orange. Now you can see the hair is starting to take shape slightly as I go darker, because once you go in first with the very light and very dark, it just looks an utter mess and you can't really see what I'm trying to do. But here you can see where it's going, at least some idea of it. And once again, I don't really do any circles. I don't blend overly much. I'm just trying to give it some genuine lines, and then if I need to go in blending, but I don't think so, because hair has a lot of texture, and if you over blend it, it's just going to look flat. Now the next color is YR14, and that's the color I started with. So now I'm going to go in with that and flick into the lighter areas. I'm going to try to bring them together slightly. See, in this bit I almost blend slightly. I just wanted highlight here, because not all the highlights actually move in lines like that. Light hits just the side of the hair in places, and you just have to be creative about it and look at the hair and imagine how the light would work on it. It's basically filling in most of the white areas. And I'm kind of putting a bit of a texture back. Now that's where as I said, I kind of miss being able to turn the image around a bit. Just do light flicks in the direction of where the hair is growing, which I find now a bit hard, because it's in a bit of an angle for me. Just slight flicks, so There's some more texture in the hair. And now let's go in with the darkest again, that's E59. And there's quite a bit of a depth while we're adding all the colors in top, whilst the image in overall got darker. It took away a lot of color from our dark areas, essentially because the markers were just pushing away the, as I said, lighter pigment always also pushes away the darker pigment. So if you go back in with the darker one, you can reintroduce all the depth you lost. And as you can see here, I'm just kind of following the lines of hair here. And the darkest part is actually someplace here. And also here. So yeah, if you go in and, as I said, there's probably hundreds of different ways of coloring just one image. So by no means is my coloring right or anybody else's wrong. It's just different. Now back with E19 and just slight flicks now, just to blend out or soften a little bit the harsh lines of the very dark marker which we used previously. Don't blend it out altogether, don't lose it again the way we had lost it before, because we added all the other lighter colors basically on top of it. But do blend it out a tiny bit. Now that bit of the hair behind her head there, behind the face, is quite dark because her face is in the way and not much light gets there. Well, that's my theory and I stick to it. And a tiny bit here as well. And now I'm going back to YR14 and just adding those. Some bits are a bit too rough, so I'm just going to clean them up. Just to basically a little tidy up, but mostly it's done. Do it all flicks in the direction that the hair is moving or growing, depending on the hair. So if there's, eventually it's going to look like she actually has a texture to her hair. Well, that's pretty much it for the hair. Thank you for watching. I'm going to list the Copic markers at the end of the video again, and I'll be back soon with a video how to do her clothing, basically coloring in very tight spots. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon.